Hey guys, I'm back here again. Today we're taking a look at the new collaborative mixtape from the Young Thug prodigies, Lil Baby and Gunna with Drip Harder. Lil Baby and Gunna have been the talk of hip hop lately, along with like other guys like Young Bands. Without getting a lot of hate, these guys really are at the future of hip hop, specifically mumble rap and trap, which is kind of bizarre to not see a ton of hate swarm around these guys. And this project in particular for these two is a definitely turning point for them, as it's their first really commercially anticipated project from outside of just their core fan base. And currently, at the date of recording this, after a day or so of sales for the project, it is already expected to do 127K, which is actually fantastic for a mixtape that had one single from two guys that have never really blown up before in the past. Although Lil Baby did of course have that one hit with Drake recently, Yes Indeed, that did kind of get his name out there and felt by a lot of people, but still Yes Indeed was not really seen as a godly track in the hip hop scene and really that successful outside of streaming. Gunna, on the other hand, really hasn't had a breakout hit yet, although he does have his internet hits here and there that his fan base and maybe some people just in the hip-hop community are kind of aware of, like Car Sick, Sold Out Dates, and Oh Okay. And what I feel makes this mixtape so widely anticipated is the fact that people recognize Lil Baby's sound and Gunna's sound, and together they can kind of imagine what this could be. The possibilities are kind of really out there with these guys that kind of have this Gunna or this Young Thug sound, but kind of updated and reinvented into something new. And so it showed a lot of potential and hope for mumble rap and trap to possibly become a better sounding genre outside of just, although Young Thug, his popularity, a better sound than just his wild voice sometimes. And really the peak of this is on the song and the only single for this, Drip Too Hard, where really everything comes together with a fantastic fluttery guitar melody and beat, and then the Lil Baby's great catchy sticky chorus, and then on top of that, Gunna delivers probably the best verse on the album. Sadly though, this is really the only time all these elements perfectly combine and mix into this perfect form on the album. For example, some of the other tracks that were missing some things but had some here or there was like Close Friends displayed one solid Baby verse and a decent hook and chorus on it, but did not have a Gunna verse whatsoever, and leaving the song seeming kind of bland and boring at some points, even though it's really the length of a normal song. And that's another thing about these two guys. I feel like they have a hard time making songs solo where it's just them, because they kind of just sound repetitive after a while. But with both of them on the same track hitting, it really kind of makes it a bit more interesting. And the fact that this song didn't have a Gunna verse kind of it does really drag it down, with the fact that after the second verse especially, you just kind of zone out. Off-Light V-Lone featuring Nav and Lil Durk also kind of has some peaks and good things here and there, like the chorus on it is also pretty catchy, but it does lack in a lot of the other areas, especially drowning in the verses. And in particular, a horrible line from Lil Durk that surprised me how it ever got cleared to be on the mixtape. Never Recover, which definitely had the most hit potential on this entire thing, really just lacks in every aspect, with Drake just kind of delivering a half-assed verse, the chorus just being forgettable, and the other two verses just being numb and completely mindless. And then all the tracks in between these just all kind of fill the same space, where it's meant for a party to just kind of have in the background and just drink and get high to. It's not something I want to come home and turn on and actually listen to. And then finally, of course, lyrically, my expectations were pretty much at the floor going into this, with them really not being that great of lyricists, and the bar was not raised whatsoever, so I can't really be disappointed at something that I never was really excited for in the first place. The mixtape falls short of anything it could have been, really lacking with any of the interesting production, verses, or hooks like on the track Drip Too Hard. And the amount of hype that has been built around their names was really not matched to the quality of what this mixtape actually holds. And so in the end, I'm gonna give this album a 2. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this thing as well, and subscribe, like, all that too. Follow my Twitter. Yeah, and let me know what else you want to see me review. Always down for new stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.